Aiden, it's time to read a book.
That's right.
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
It's Mimosas and Masterpieces. Today is a special day. We are finally painting Anya's paint palette.
Yes.
In honor of our viewer, Anya. This event here is just for you. So while everybody's checking in and getting ready, this is our last live virtual painting until next week. So for those people who want to paint this weekend, I would encourage you to come to the Mimosas and Masterpieces page, click on the events section, go through all of the different sessions that we had, and see what you want to paint. If something that you haven't painted yet, then be our guest and join and paint over the weekend with one of our shared videos.
Yes, we're excited. As you guys are coming on, check in. Let us know where you're painting from.
Yes, please.
Let us know who you're painting with. We're excited for today.
And we're excited to see the guest of honor join us here today, Anya, because it's because of her we are doing this today.
That's right.
So we're just looking for people to check in. We'll take a few minutes before we get started.
Yeah. So tomorrow I decided we would do a live tomorrow, but not in painting. I'm just gonna kind of sit and do a Q&A while I do maybe a resin pour or so. I will get myself all set up to do that.
And what time is this going to happen?
I think I put like 8 o'clock, so it's toward the evening after everybody's done with dinner and kind of settled, and you're even in your bed and kind of whatever, just chilling.
Really? So we're going to have a Q&A tomorrow?
Yeah, so people can ask questions if they have questions on their whatever paints or brushes or whatever.
And just like I said, our first person to join us tonight is Anya, who we are doing this in honor of tonight. Thank you for joining us, Anya.
Hi, sweetie.
And thank you for getting this scheduled.
That's right.
And we just got Becky from Maine.
Hi, Becky.
And like we were saying before, for those of you just checking in now, today is the last day we're going to be doing a virtual painting session until next week,
June 17th.
June 17th. Now tomorrow there's a Q&A session. At what time again?
That's what I called it, a Q&A. We'll go live around 8 o'clock.
I'll
go right from the page this time, not from the event.
Right from the page.
Yeah.
So they don't have to click on events.
Right.
They just come to the page at 8 o'clock and you'll be on there live.
I will most likely not save the video or anything. It's just going to be me like chatting, and I'm going to work on a couple of resin pours. We got a couple of really beautiful pieces of...
Whoa. Wait a minute.
What?
We're going to do resin pours tomorrow? You're
am.
going to dazzle people with the resin pours tomorrow?
I'm going to. I'm going to do a couple. I have a few pieces of slabs of wood from a tree that are just beautiful, and they would
you couldn't wait for that one. Okay, you want to do that one.
Really
okay,
like
to. I knew your eyes lit up when I brought them in the house. You was like, oh yeah.
So we want to pour those and kind of get those secure for.
And you want them to see it.
Yeah.
You want them to see what else you do.
It's fun. I mean, it's just something else to do to pass the time while I answer questions. If people want to send some questions to us.
Right. So there's no painting tomorrow, but they'll be able to talk to you, ask you questions about whatever, and then watch you do a resin pour, which is something else that you do as well.
Yeah.
With Mimosas and Masterpieces, you not just do this kind of painting. You paint bottles, you paint glasses, you've made signs. We've done all kinds of different themed events.
I'm gonna post 3 more events tonight. Well, I posted one just a few minutes ago. I did add the drink, sip, repeat with the tea cup.
Okay.
I added that one. I added that on that Saturday that there was nothing there. We did that nice and early though at I think I posted 11 o'clock in the morning. So real early, get that out of the way, and then you'll have your entire day to enjoy too. And then I have 2 more. I will post the sea turtle.
Yes.
And we'll do a snowman in July, Christmas in July, but we'll do snowmen.
Okay,
Somebody
so
requested snowmen,
oh,
so
wow. Okay.
we'll do snowmen in July. Yep.
All right, we got Patricia from Kingston, Ontario.
Hello, Patricia.
Yes, our Canadian friends. Yeah, so you're going to be off after tonight and after tomorrow when you do your little Q&A.
Yep.
Okay, but you will be back. Okay, so the whole big deal is that she's going to be gone for the weekend. She's going to go, recharge her batteries with her besties.
Deal.
All of them are going to get together and go on a little road trip.
Yes.
And then when she comes back, though, it's going to be like she's going to hit the ground running, okay?
Yeah. And not stop until I trip and
fall.
fall.
until the end of the weekend, okay? Because when she comes back next week, she comes back and starts on Wednesday, has another one on Thursday, another one on Friday, a doubleheader Saturday, and a doubleheader Sunday. So you can miss her for a few days and she's going to be gone, but
we'll make up for it.
We'll make up for it next week. We'll be back, and we'll be back with a vengeance.
All right. Let's go over... So we'll go over our supplies. Well, I think I've heard all of your names before. Jennifer, Mark.
Yes, I'm back here.
We are Mimosas and Masterpieces, and we're out of South Bound Brook, New Jersey. And Rascal is, of course, at my feet as usual, panting around and looking at me and whining at me.
Yeah, he'll give it up after a while.
So our supplies tonight, we're using that 16 by 20 canvas. Have it on my easel. It's just helpful, not required as always. We're going to use at least 2 brushes tonight, 3 if you have them. So I'm going to use that flat brush. We're going to use a round brush like this.
Okay.
And then we'll use a finer, smaller detail brush if you have something smaller or finer for your outlines.
We've got Tara from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Hi, Tara. Welcome.
And did I say Patricia from Kingston, Ontario?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
As we, you're telling everybody what they need and everything, what they should have, as we're still waiting for more people to join on.
Yeah, no problem. It's a Thursday, so it may be tricky for people to get on today, but that's okay.
Yeah, and it's pretty nice, pretty decent weather.
I know, it's nice outside. People want to be outside now.
It's okay.
So let's go over our paint. So of course, after our brushes, you have your water to rinse your brushes, paper towels to dry your brushes. Mm-hmm. All right, so paints. We have all of our primary colors. Of course, this is cloth again, like always. Okay, a little bit of red. Do a little bit of each at a time. You can always add more.
Right.
My black and white. Probably need most of the white because you're going to use that to blend all of your colors.
Okay, so white's very important in this one.
Yep.
I'm going to use white to blend everything.
Little bit of black. Blue and yellow, so it's all of our primaries. Red, yellow, blue, black, and white. And then we will have brown.
If people don't have brown, then what?
You can mix brown. Brown is all 3 of your primary colors, red, yellow, and blue.
Oh, okay.
Just a little tricky depending on the types of paints that you have and the colors of the paints that you have, what your brown will come out to be.
Okay, all right.
Rascal, what are you sniffing, buddy?
I don't know.
Somebody must have dropped something somewhere.
No. I think he's just a little restless because you're painting. And he had you to himself and he wanted to keep you that way. And then he realized, wait a minute, we're down here because you're going to start painting, and now he's just having a little fit. And he'll get over it, and then he'll lay down at your feet and say, okay, I'll just lay here until it's over.
Yep. All right, and then a little brown. So again, all of our primaries, red, yellow, blue, black, white, and a little bit of brown.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna start by sketching just that that palette part for now.
All right.
Just so that we don't have to cover that whole area with our background and then have to wait for it to dry to paint that palette.
Mm-hmm.
So let me grab.
You need a marker?
I have my marker. So I'm gonna do mine in marker. You're gonna do yours in pencil. And so I'm it's gonna look like I'm not gonna finish my circle or my oval, but I will, I'll kind of guide you. So we're gonna start in this bottom left corner.
In the bottom left corner.
And again, you can put it wherever you want to. You can do any colors you want to. I'm just here to guide you. You can change your painting around, flip it upside down, whatever you want to.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna put my palette in the bottom left corner, just like this one. We want a nice big oval over here. So you're gonna do a full oval for me.
In your pencil.
Yep. I will not complete my oval.
You're not going to complete your oval?
I'm not going to complete my oval because I will kind of come in. So from this side, this section of your oval,
yes,
you're going to bring part of this down. So on a curve, you're almost going to make a big C inside of this. So it's almost a C. And then bring this side around. And we can always fix in painting when you're painting if it doesn't look exactly the way you want it to. So I just
zoomed in
made a boo-boo there, but so again it's almost like an oval, or maybe an egg shape is probably a better suggestion here. So big egg shape, and then what you would do is from this side of it, you're gonna kind of curve a line in. We're gonna almost make a big C, and then a curve line back out.
Okay.
And any little imperfections that you feel like you have, we can fix while we're painting.
Okay.
So don't worry too much.
And I've got you zoomed in.
Okay. So this one just came out a little bit smaller than that one, but again, it's all okay.
Mm-hmm. Rachel has just joined us.
Hi, Rachel.
Just let her know that we just need our primary colors.
Yep, so your colors that we're going to use today is red, yellow, blue, black, and white, and just a little bit of brown.
Red, yellow, blue, white, black, and a little
brown.
bit of brown.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
and
what we're
then
using.
you're going to draw this oval in the lower corner of your canvas.
Yeah, you can probably make it kind of got a little small on me. I was
Okay.
afraid to go all in with that Sharpie marker.
Okay.
So you can make yours a little bit bigger if you want to. So what you would do is make almost like an egg shape.
Yes.
Oval, egg shape. And then from the top right side of it, you're going to curve part of that oval down and make almost a C, and then curve it back around to meet the other side of your oval.
Okay.
So you can do a full egg shape or oval shape and then just erase this area here.
Okay.
I should have done it in pencil first and then went to marker, but
But it's okay.
It's all right. We are just going with the flow, guys.
Awesome.
Your painting, my painting is not going to look exactly like my painting. Your painting is not going to look exactly like my painting, and we don't want that. Yours is yours, mine is mine. Everybody has an individuality. Everybody has their own creativity, different materials, so they're always going to be different, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm drawing it back
Oh, okay.
so they can see you. You're explaining something, but I had it zoomed in.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now that I've spilled
Now,
water all
from
over.
time to time, I will zoom in, as you're painting.
Yeah, the only time I think we really need to be zoomed is probably when we do the brushes and the little details in the brushes.
Sure.
But
Or if somebody requests it.
yeah, that's fine. So let's get started with painting. So we're going to grab that flat brush, that large flat brush.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start at this corner of my canvas. We're just going to use this brush in a diagonal motion. I have them on a diagonal. You can go horizontally. You don't have to have them nice smooth lines.
Okay.
But I'm going to work in a diagonal. We're going to mix right on canvas. I'm going to take a corner of my red and a corner of white to get started.
Okay.
So corner of red, corner of white, and I'm just going to start brushing this in a diagonal on the canvas.
And you're not flipping your brush now.
I'm not flipping my brush this time because I'm pulling some off this side, pulling some off this side.
Okay.
So
okay.
when we do that nice smooth line, we're just brushing both sides of the brush back and forth.
All right.
grab those edges, the tops and the bottoms, your sides of your canvas as we go. If it seems too dark, just grab a little bit more white and just blend.
Okay.
So we're just going to keep going back. Oh, I'm flipping paint.
You're flipping paint?
I just flung white paint over there.
Uh-oh.
Hey, that's part of the job.
Okay.
All right. So we're starting with just that red and white, making it almost a pink. All right.
Cool.
Again, grab those edges if you can.
So you're going away. You're going to get some rest and relaxation?
I'm going to try.
How are you going to try it when you're with your besties?
We hopefully will all sleep in.
Yeah, I mean, y'all haven't seen each other in months.
I know.
I mean, not you know, on a basis where it was like some time. You know, y'all haven't been able to spend any time together at all.
We will get there. It's okay. All right, so this color, so you can take these again as far down as you want to. So the point was just that I wanted to, or the goal was, that I was trying to make a rainbow in the background for her. We wanted a gradient background. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue. We're going to kind of blend all of those colors together throughout.
Okay.
So you can bring this down as far as you want to. I ended up having to repeat the rainbow halfway down because I didn't bring this down far enough.
Okay.
So you can, again, bring this down as far as you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stop here, and then I'm going to go to a corner of yellow and a corner of white. So I didn't rinse and dry that brush. So same brush.
Oh, okay.
Corner of white, corner of yellow. And we're going to do the same thing. I just want to start right below that pink line that we made.
All right, leave it right there so they can see that.
Yep, so I just want to brush right below the pink line first.
Below the pink line.
We're going to start below it.
Are you going to mix it?
We're going to blend up into that pink and then bring it down. So I'm going to use those diagonal brush strokes. So we're going back and forth, up into that pink just a bit.
First you went under the pink. Now
Yep.
you're going to draw it up into the pink and then draw it back down.
Right, so coming up into pink and then bringing it back down a bit.
Okay,
So,
just want them to understand
yeah.
that.
So again, I'm kind of blending, bringing it up into the pink, and then coming back down.
And it's okay if you go fast with the strokes like you do.
Yep, so you want those colors to blend a little bit, so you almost get an orange color in there because you're overlapping that yellow and that pink color.
Okay.
So that's part of that. And then we can bring that yellow down a little bit further. So again, you're just going to grab a little bit more white, a little bit more yellow, yellow and white on the corners. And again, we'll just blend.
Start at the bottom and start blending.
Keep going in that diagonal brush stroke. So when you get to your object, it's okay if you go over it a little bit. Just trying to avoid going and filling the whole thing in.
Okay.
And then just make sure you bring down that whole diagonal and then finish
the back part.
on this side if it comes down this way.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to make this a little bit wider because again I'm going to bring green into this or blue into this for our green.
Uh-huh.
So I want to make sure I have enough yellow to do that.
Okay.
So
Now, like you were saying before, if you didn't do enough, take enough space, that you ran out of colors and then you had to start all over again?
yeah, so I'll probably end up repeating and going through it again.
Okay.
Yep. It's after this color though that I like to rinse it. Oh no, actually you don't even have to rinse and dry here because
No?
we're blending it anyway. So
We're blending it anyway, so there's no
Yep.
need to rinse and dry.
No, so I'm just again sticking with that yellow and white for a bit, bringing that down a couple of inches in those diagonal pattern here. Stick with that same brush stroke all the way through.
Okay.
And And then we are going to go to corner of blue, corner of white.
That'll be what's next.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while we letting everybody, fill in their background with their yellow and their white, I wanted to reiterate that today is the last day
Oh my gosh.
that Jennifer's going to be doing a virtual painting session.
Oh my, it's over.
Tomorrow she will be back on here at 8 p.m. to do a Q&A session. All right, and maybe a demonstration of what was it again?
Resin.
The resin pour. All right, so she's going to do a demonstration and she's going to be answering questions for you. Okay, and then she's going on a little vacay with her besties. Okay, and when we return, we'll be returning with a vengeance. We're coming back on the 17th of June. That's at 6 p.m. We will be painting Olive's elephant. That's when we return. Okay, today is the last day that we'll be painting, but when we return, it'll be Wednesday, June 17th at 6 p.m. You check on the page, Mimosas and Masterpieces, go to the events, and all of the events that are coming up during that week are going to be listed for you.
Yep.
Okay? Because that's a big week when we come back. When we come back, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, doubleheader Saturday, doubleheader Sunday. So get your stuff, get your things, all of the things that you need if you're planning on painting with us. We got some serious events coming up. Okay? Thursday, June 18th, the day after we return, 7 p.m., Mass Squad, a Zoom donation event. We're trying to get a lot of donations for the Mass Squad in Somerset County. They've been making masks, and they're still making masks.
They are.
And we don't know if we're going to get a second wave, but it's probably likely. So this is a donation event that they still need donations so they can continue to make masks. If we have a second wave, then this will all be for the better. So Thursday, June 18th, 7 p.m. the Mass Squad. Come and join us for that day.
Yep, details are on that event, or they're also in the article that I posted today. That's on the page as well. The patch in our area did an article on us, which was really nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
And there's details on how to join us for that event there.
Is that posted on the Mimosas and Masterpieces page?
I did.
Awesome.
All right, so once you have your yellow again, I'm just going to grab that corner of blue, corner of white, start underneath my yellow, and then that diagonal, let's bring it up into the yellow.
Oh, okay.
Blend up into the yellow, and then come back down a bit.
I see where you're getting your green.
So overlapping that blue with the yellow turns it green. And again, grab those edges when you remember. Okay, so again, we kind of just blend over that green or over that yellow, up into that yellow. So it's why we move a little quicker on doing these gradient backgrounds, because we want our paint to be wet when we blend.
Okay. So that's why you have the fast hand movements.
Yeah.
Okay.
The quicker you get at this, the more seamless it looks.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna again just grab more blue, corner of white.
Corner of blue and corner of white.
Yep.
And continue.
Yep, and then just kind of bring that blue down a couple of inches.
Okay. Want to spread that blue out a little bit.
Yep. Rascal, you better not.
Oh, he's planning on doing a rebellion.
It's like, that's it? They're busy? Let me go check things out on the stove.
Yeah, let me go upstairs and check to make sure there isn't anything on the stove so that he can't just hop up there and say, yeah. Because he keeps coming up and down like, I'm just waiting for them to be settled in their spot, and I'll grab those pork chops that's sitting up there. I think that's the only thing left, right? Is the pork chop.
I don't know. There might be some potatoes left. Were you trying to be sneaky, mister? Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Gotcha. If you feel like you get a lot of buildup in your brush and you have way too much in there, it's okay to rinse and dry. No, there's no wrong way to do it. If there's too much paint in there, I just rinse and dry my brush and then I go work on the color that we're working on. But if not, then you can just go right to your next color. So again, once I'm done with a couple of inches of blue, I'm going to do corner of red, corner of white again. We're going to do that same motion. We're going to come right underneath that blue with that first corner of white, corner of red, right underneath the blue, and then we'll blend up. Alright, so again, we're going to start back and forth in that diagonal and then blend up into the blue. Light pressure, because the red to the blue sometimes makes it look like a hard line. So light pressure in it will help you kind of fan out that color in that blue, especially if it's wet. And then you're just going to bring it down. Light pressure, and then you can put more pressure as you bring it down. And then come down up into that blue area. And again, if it seems like it's too dark to you, just grab a little bit more white and blend some white in there. I'm going to grab more white and red and do the same right along. Get our pink in there again. And I'm just going to repeat that same pattern. So I'm going to do the pink or the red, and then go to yellow, which will blend up into orange.
Well, now he's going to sniff me, so she thinks I got something because I came downstairs. He's going to sniff me down.
Again, if you feel like you have too much paint built up in that brush, you can rinse and dry.
Okay. You got everybody busy now.
Good, good. This is the fun part. Like, you can just blend for days. Just keep going. Alright, I'm going to rinse and dry because I feel like I got a lot of blue in there still somehow.
Yeah, the weather has been getting nicer.
Yep.
Here in New Jersey, we just reopened. So, I mean, you know, people, well, I shouldn't say reopened, but, you know, they told people they can go out and about now. So, I would expect some of this to wind down with as far as, like, how many viewers we get when we do you know, depending on what time it is we're doing it. Like, on the weekends, it's different because people are home.
Yeah.
But, like, today on a Thursday, we have a few people.
Okay.
You know, because it's nice outside, so people at 7 o'clock on the East Coast are probably out and about, you know. Some people are going back to work.
Yep, we know.
Yes, exactly. You know, so I would expect our viewership to drop off a little bit. But the good part about this is that all of our usual audience knows that if they miss an event, we're still going to do it. And no matter how many people show up, because they can always go back to the video and actually do it like it was live. And that's what we're finding now that a lot of people are doing.
Really like that, yeah.
We really appreciate that. You know, people are not fretting or getting upset because they're late or they didn't get there, you know, and they're just blowing it off. They're going, no, there's a video. So we know, you know, we want to paint. We can sit down and relax at any time we want and we can paint.
Sure.
And that's basically why we did this, you know, so that people could always have an outlet somehow, some way. Because now, look, I mean, the good part about all of this is that, okay, so if things can get back to normal, we'll see how long it is before you go back to what you were doing. You know, you had canceled a lot of events.
Yes, we did.
For the summer, you were booked, okay, and
all I know is I just want the sloth event to go through.
Right,
and me be done with
that
the
would be real
sloth
nice
event.
if we can get to that point where we can have the events like we used to have.
I know.
Loading up the truck and setting everything up, and
yes.
it's going to be nice to do that again. I can only imagine what's going to be the first event that we actually get back to doing on the road again.
I think it'll be the sloth. I think that will be the very next thing that we're able to even go and do, and that's in August.
And that's in August, okay.
Yeah, that's August.
Well, so far, so good. I mean, people are allowed to come out their houses now. They're not telling people to stay in the house. So I expect lots more traffic now, and I expect lots more people to be out and about. Yeah. Now you can go ahead to the shop right whenever you want instead of me going and.
No, I like when you.
Oh, do you like me going?
No.
Oh, okay then. We'll keep it like that then. No problem. I figured you wanted to do some shopping or just get out the house. You've been in here longer than anybody.
Mhm. No, I'm good.
I mean, Aiden goes to see his dad every other weekend, and then I'm the one that goes out for whatever we need or whatever needs to be done. And you've been in the house for, I don't know, about 3 months.
Pretty much. I mean, I started going back to work now. But
well, yeah. That was the unfortunate part. We had tried to block that out of our minds that you went back to work at the office.
Oh my.
Yeah, Aiden and I and Rascal. Rascal didn't like it the most.
You guys can just let us know when you're ready with your background. We're filling that entire thing in, gradient all the way down.
And you just repeated the steps.
I just repeated my colors, and then I said if you start to feel like buildup on that brush, like there's too many colors in there, just rinse and dry, and then just move on with the same color that you're working with.
All right. So if you got too many colors on your brush and spreading all over the place.
Yeah, it just depends on how much paint you pick up each time you get it. Sometimes, depending on the pressure, you may grab a lot more paint than you intend to, and it builds up in there. And then when you press hard on the brush, on the canvas, then you're like, where did all that blue come from in my red?
Well, the question now about your Q&A tomorrow. Have you put this out? Have you let people know that you're doing this?
I made it an event, but it doesn't seem to. I mean, it's there. I don't know. Creating that event didn't seem like it generated responses like
you would
events.
do when you do these. Okay.
So maybe it's because I didn't duplicate it, or I don't know. I created it as a new event. I didn't duplicate an event.
Yeah, so. Anya says, can we wait? Sure, we're waiting.
Yeah. No, we're waiting. Now. We're waiting until you're done.
Yep,
Everybody's done.
When everybody's got their background done, just let us know.
I'm quick.
We'll go on.
I know, I'm quick. You usually keep up with me, though.
Yeah, she's keeping up. She's keeping up with you. She's just thinking that maybe you're about to go to the next step.
No. We're waiting until everybody's done, and you guys can let us know when that is before we do anything.
Yeah, besides, I have a bunch of events to read off to you.
Okay.
That when we come back, I read off the Wednesday when we return
Thursday.
On June 17th at 6 p.m. That's Olive's Elephant.
Yep.
I told him about Thursday,
Squad.
June 18th, 7 p.m. the Mass Squad. That's a donation event. Then that Friday, to start off the weekend, June 19th, 7 p.m. the afternoon tea painting.
Yep.
The afternoon tea painting is right up there in the right-hand corner, above the pallet painting. In this picture right here, you can see it. Okay, that's the afternoon tea painting on Friday, June 19th. All right, then the weekend begins. The weekend is a doubleheader weekend.
Yeah.
All right, so when we return after she's gone for a while, this Saturday, that Saturday coming up, well, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, is Finny the Fox at 1 p.m.
He's so cute.
Yes, that's the Fox we'll be doing at 1 p.m. You get the kids, everybody ready for that day. Saturday, June the 20th, our doubleheader Saturday after she returns from her vacation. Okay, that evening, Saturday, June the 20th, we're doing the seahorse painting. Okay, so it's Finny the Fox at 1 o'clock, and then it's the seahorse painting at 7 p.m. Okay, that's a doubleheader day.
It's a big one. Expect to be with us for a couple of hours for this one.
Yeah, that one's going to take a few hours. 2.5 to 3 hours.
Yep.
Okay, and the people who have joined us for 2.5 to 3 hours in session, I have to say their work was really phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect anything anything less from this one. You know, it's a lot of intricate, it's a lot of details. Okay, and then that's Sunday. Sunday, doubleheader weekend, all right, at 1 o'clock on Sunday, June 21st, which actually is Father's Day. We have the Father's Day painting at 1 o'clock. Now, there are silhouettes for the father, the daughter, and there's a silhouette of the son.
Right.
Okay, so you have to go to the Mimosas Masterpieces page, click on the event, and then what, is there a link? Or there's a link that gets you these silhouettes?
There's 2 posts. The first one is your supplies. The second one is the silhouettes.
Okay.
And you can always, like, if you have, you know, maybe if you have twins or you have multiple kids, you can always just Google father-daughter or father-kid silhouettes.
Okay, and then you can get them.
You'll find a ton of them.
And you'll put them somewhere on your canvas.
I will tell you how to transfer those to your canvas when we're all done painting this time. So you won't pre-sketch them.
Okay.
You'll just keep those out until it's time. When we're all done.
Right, so that's June 21st at 1 p.m., Father's Day.
Yeah.
Okay, now to round it out and finish off that weekend, June 21st, 7 p.m., Infinite Blessings Angel. Yeah. That's how we're going to finish the weekend off. That's what's going to happen on Father's Day. Okay, so we come back. Just think about that. Wednesday, June 17th, 6 p.m. Thursday, June 18th, 7 p.m. Friday, June 19th, 7 p.m. Saturday, June 20th, double header, 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Sunday, Father's Day, double header. Infinite Blessings Angel at 7 p.m. Father's Day painting, what we'll do first at 1 p.m.
That's it.
So that's a heck of a way to come back after you've been gone for a whole weekend and a few days.
Yes.
So, you know, she's constantly thinking about you guys. And wanting to make sure that there's people out there that can paint something.
Yep. We'll post more for July before I leave. And we'll talk about some tomorrow. If you have ideas tomorrow, you could think of something else that you might want to do virtually instead of just canvas.
Yes, because we are trying to think about different things we can do. And then also, what can we do with our paintings? A lot of you people are coming back and painting with us on multiple occasions. So what are you doing with all your paintings? Okay, you're starting to build a gallery.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to do something creative with all these paintings. If it's somehow we could get everybody together and do something with our paintings, whether cool. You know, we got slideshows to put together. We want to do a year-end type of thing so that we can show all the participation people have been putting in for the whole year. So we got a lot of things that we're trying to work on to finish out the year and to make you all feel special for joining us each and every time you come. You know, we don't want you to forget us.
So again, just let us know when you're ready and we will move on with the art palette.
Rachel says you'll need another holiday.
Yes, probably.
All right, so everybody give us an indication when you think you're about done, and then we'll move on. Just give me a thumbs up or a heart or okay.
I know, I moved through that background pretty quickly.
Yeah, you did. But it's okay, you know, because now they see it.
Yeah. We'll show you, I'll try and show you tomorrow the wall. Somebody asked what's the biggest mural I painted or the most detailed mural.
You want to have an intimate.
So
you want to have an intimate little get together with your.
I'll try and show you
audience.
some of the. The studio is a little messy in places, but I'll try and show you what we've got. I'll show you the wall that I painted, the wall of glasses that are painted.
Okay.
I don't know. What else do you want to see?
Your paintings hung up all over the place.
Well, actually, I mean, most of them are behind me now. I think all the other ones are.
You got thousands of them down here on the floor surrounding you, and then behind me, all up along. They're all on the floor, all over the place.
Everywhere.
They're stacked up. You could have a gallery and have an exhibition or what do they call that?
Yeah, a gallery.
Yeah, we could rent a place and have all your paintings put up and
I'm yawning. Sorry.
show a video or whatever of what you've been doing with Mimosas and Masterpieces since you started it.
Yeah, that's true.
How it's evolved into too many different things.
Yeah, it has. I started with just painting glasses. That's what I was gonna do. It was just glasses. And then
Traveling, paint, and sip.
And then somebody asked me to do a fundraiser with canvases. And I said, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But she convinced me. I'm glad she did. She's a very good friend of mine now. She helps run Mimosa Marketing Group, which is also what we're a part of.
That's
so,
right.
Yes.
People can ask you about that tomorrow?
Sure. Yeah, you can ask us about Mimosa Marketing and the other things we're involved in, and you can tell us what you're involved in. We'd love to get to know you better.
Mm-hmm. Or if they have any suggestions.
Maybe we'll create a Zoom. Would you guys rather do a Zoom?
That would be interesting. That would be interesting. If we could meet
and we can
all
meet
of
and
our
greet
people.
You. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll change it to a meet and greet.
That would be
instead of a Q&A.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, maybe
we
that's
did
what
a
I'll
birthday party yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we're doing private events still. It's just over Zoom. Okay? And we're doing it mostly birthday parties for kids. And just to watch these kids get so serious and paint and love it.
Yeah, that was cute.
It's fun watching them do that.
We did the peacock yesterday. It was really cute.
I mean, right here and now, doing this on Facebook, we can't see you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't see what you're doing. We just have to assume that you're doing, that you're painting with us.
Until you send us your photos.
Right, or then you let us know, or you send us a comment. Okay, but when you're doing the Zoom, I can see each person, and I'm watching, we have them muted out, but we can see them all painting. And then we ask them to show us your painting. They turn it around and show it to us. Yeah, or if somebody's having a problem.
Maybe that's what I'll do. I'm going to change that Q&A to a meet and greet so that I can meet you guys instead.
You'd like to do that on Zoom instead of doing it on Facebook?
Yeah, because then I can see them.
Well, I mean, tomorrow is tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
That's a Wednesday.
Yeah, I know.
Who's going to be in the house? We'll see.
I don't know. All right, we'll set up a different meet and greet time.
We'll have to do it when you come back.
I know. Yeah, I like the meet and greet idea.
I do too. I would love to meet everybody.
Mark, I think it's time,
No.
Yeah,
they won't see my face.
No, I think they should meet Mark.
We'll do it just like we always done it. Just like we did yesterday. They can see you, but they can't see me. I can see everyone, but nobody can see me.
How you doing, Anya? Are you done with your background?
I don't think so.
No?
Not yet. Yeah, no. There's no need to see me. That would be,
People are going to want to come on to see you.
No, they're not. They're coming on to see Jennifer of Mimosas and Masterpieces. You are the star of the story.
I don't know.
You're the star of the story. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just a sidekick. I'm the person that does all of the things behind the scenes. Just so like I do when I'm working on the film. I'm the man doing everything behind the scenes. Assistant director. Yes, Anya is ready. As always, thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right. I think we can start mixing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to start mixing?
Well, we're going to mix the brown for our paint palette. So you can do that with either the round brush, or you can mix it with the flat brush that we were using. So you're going to use a scoop of brown, a scoop of yellow, and a little bit of white. So we're going for kind of a tan color for that palette. So scoop of brown, scoop of yellow, a little bit of white.
Scoop of brown, scoop of yellow, and a little bit of white. All in the same brush?
Well, we're going to mix, so you're going to mix.
Oh, you're going to mix it all together.
So I want you to mix in another area on your plate or on a different plate so that we make almost a light brown color.
Oh.
So there's my brown, my original brown.
Uh-huh.
And then I made a lighter brown.
Okay.
I actually mixed it with the larger brush. I'm going to leave that because I want to use the smaller brush to put in some where our paints are gonna go and the hole for your thumb. Oh. We'll mix all that. We'll paint all that first, and then we'll go back and fill in with the bigger brush if you want to.
Okay.
So I'll give you a minute to mix paint first. This was fun, Anya. I'm glad you kept suggesting it multiple times.
Because you thought it wasn't going to be fun?
No, I guess, it's like you kind of think, how many people are going to be interested in just doing a paint palette? And I kind of had done one before, but I wasn't crazy about it. But this one I really liked.
All right.
I really like, you were right with the gradient background, your rainbow background.
See?
Yes. You win.
There you go.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is use that middle brush, rinse and dry, and then I want to get some sections on my palette for where our paints will go and where the thumb hole will be. Okay. So that thumb area is right over here. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just putting a little oval in that area.
Just a little oval.
Yep. And then your paints, what you want to do is so it's just kind of odd shapes. Look at the shapes of the paint on your palette or on your plate. They're not perfect circles. They're kind of rounded out and wavy and curvy, so you want to do a couple of those little awkward looking shapes or morph amoeba shapes on your palette. Uh-oh.
No, go ahead.
What are you laughing at?
No, because while you're talking, Anya's going, yay, I won.
Yeah.
Go our palette.
Yes. And then we will fill in. Now you can fill in again depending on how much space you have. You can fill in with the larger brush, you could fill in with a smaller brush, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay.
So we're just going to fill in everything around those little sections. End up with little
white holes.
Right, you'll end up with little white sections in there.
Little sections, okay.
And that's
so they take their time and paint between all of these. And that's where you're going to use all of this brown, filling it all in.
Yep. We're going to start with that, and then we'll add highlights, and we'll add some shadow in there.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so you're taking the girls away.
Yep.
You're taking them all down south.
A little bit.
For a little bit.
A little bit. Yes, we are excited.
Yeah, Nancy looks very, very happy.
I know.
This afternoon, because she knows she's going away.
And I'm very happy that all of my stuff from Amazon came that I ordered.
Yes.
I ordered them all, each a little beach bag with a little friendship bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, you girls haven't been together in a good while.
Yeah.
It's just not like y'all to not have a girls' night. Or, it hasn't happened in a while. It seems like forever.
It's been a while.
And now we're into summertime. It's like, wow, this hasn't happened yet. That's really unbelievable. Y'all would have had at least a few girls' nights by now.
I know, well, because we missed my birthday getting together. We missed Lisa's birthday. We missed Nancy's birthday. We missed all
everybody's birthdays.
Everybody's
birthdays went by.
Yep, Maria's in October. But yeah, we missed 3 of us, our birthdays, getting together like we normally would have.
Yeah, well, just remember that y'all gonna go down south and go on y'all little vacation trip, and you can't make up for all of the days that y'all weren't together in 3 days. So just don't think that you can, please.
Why not?
You can't make up for all of the days that you missed in 3 days.
Gosh.
I know y'all gonna try, but it ain't gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like we haven't been able to party. We haven't sat and talked. You know, we haven't done anything together.
I think if there's one thing we've all learned as we've gotten older, we do not recover well anymore.
Yeah, when you get older, you recover. It takes a little bit longer.
Beverages.
Each time.
A night of adult beverages.
Well, you got to have things for that. You know, don't go down there with a bunch of beverages and don't have no remedies.
We've got the remedies too. All right, so we are just rinsing and drying our brush once we have that light brown on our palette.
Now, Anya says, can I add bronze paint to the brown to give a shine?
Of course you can. Of course.
That's a great idea.
That's beautiful. Yep, absolutely. And then we'll go over while our paint is still wet here. We'll give you some highlights in there. I want you to kind of lighten that up a bit.
All right. And how are you going to go about? Oh, excuse me. How are you going to go about lighting it up?
So we'll take that round brush that we've been using.
Yeah.
Just going to use a tiny bit of white at a time, a tiny bit at a time. Okay, I want to kind of brush some white around this area. And then we're just going to blend in.
Oh, I see.
Until it sort of...
It got a little lighter.
Right. So just this area here.
Yeah, and they can see that.
Good.
I don't have to zoom.
Good. We're going to do the same thing coming around this area and then almost all the way down the side.
Oh, really? With the white?
So white. I'm going to take a good bit of white.
Okay.
Come all the way up and around, and then we're just going to start blending some of that white in to kind of lighten up the edge of our palette. A little bit more down the side. I think it's the music. That's what's putting us to sleep.
The music?
And then I'm going to do just a little bit of white in the center just to blend in a little. And then I'm going to rinse and dry.
No, I actually think this music is better.
Yeah.
I don't know that other stuff you were playing before.
I know
was
that
weird.
That royalty-free stuff was very strange.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're okay with meditation music. That's what we've got.
Okay, that's it.
This is what happens when you get a massage, which I really
This is
miss
the kind of
too.
music they play?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I would fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. That's the best time. So we filled in our palette with our light brown.
Mm-hmm.
We added a little bit of white right up in each of these little curved areas. And then I came all the way down. And we're just blending in a little of that white. And we're rinsing and drying.
After you do all of that, you blend in the white and then you rinse and dry.
Yep. And then I'll show you the next step is going to be the shadows for our paint. Where our paint's going to sit.
Okay.
Okay. If I'm going too quick, guys, you guys can just slow me down, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to just go to that dark brown that I started with, the original brown.
Yeah.
Now, underneath each of these paint areas, I'm going to just kind of almost outline or press some of that dark brown underneath each of...
let me zoom in on that.
Go ahead.
Because that's a different color.
Yep.
And you can't barely see it.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just taking that brown and kind of coming around the bottom of that, where that paint pot would be. That's what they're called. They're called paint pots.
Okay. They're called what?
It's called paint pots.
Paint pots?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or a pot of paint.
A pot of paint.
Yeah, instead of like a glob of paint.
Oh, okay.
And just around the bottom of each of them. And that's just kind of a little, oh, I don't want to do that. I just want to do where our paint is because that's what's going to be raised off of the palette.
Oh, all right.
And then we're rinsing and drying. We're working on our palette so that we can let this all dry, and we're getting there.
Okay.
And then we can get our
You don't want them to do that, do
tubes
you?
of paint. What?
You just touch the canvas and like.
Yeah, I was making sure that it's dry. That's
So
good.
if it wasn't dry, then wouldn't you be smearing it?
Could be.
Okay, so just be careful, everybody.
I can see it that it's dry. It's
Right,
just
but
a
they
tiny bit
can't.
wet.
What? I mean, I don't know how many people have been doing this for so long.
Sorry.
That they know better, but you don't want them to do that. So
No,
I'm just a little
I'm
nervous.
just checking.
You got people touching their painting and go, "Oh no!"
Sorry. This little flies in here. So once you're done with your palette, you're just going to let us know that you're good to go.
Okay.
And we'll move on to the next step, okay? So we don't rush you through anything.
Well, I think the last time, only Anya was the only one that said that they were ready to go.
Okay, Anya, let us know when you're ready to go.
I think everybody else is keeping up already.
Okay.
Because if they weren't, then they would be like, slow down.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, we're excited for a bunch of upcoming events. I plan to get Stitch on there.
Oh yeah, you're gonna do one for Stitch.
We've had a couple of. I've had
'Cause
several
enough people have asked for it.
ask
Yeah.
me for Stitch. I mean, I don't know. We're gonna call it a. We're just gonna call it a koala, I guess. But
Really?
I don't know, because I'm afraid to. You know, like.
Oh please.
You know.
You could say Stitch. It's not like you're
I
manufacturing.
mean, I did say Harry Potter, right? I did say platform 9 3/4 for the whole Harry Potter
they
thing.
know it's just a virtual painting event. It's not something where you
Yeah, we ain't
demanding
making
money.
We ain't making millions
using
here.
The likeness for using the likeness of
We
Stitch.
are not making millions
Come
here.
on.
Oh, that's true.
You're not trying to do that. The same way you treated the Ninjago.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Lego. No, what
You
did I
was
call
like,
it?
I can't say it.
The block ninja.
yeah. You was like the block ninja. I said Ninjago. Yeah, you made a little boy very happy
That's
doing
what.
a Ninjago.
That's what it's about.
Okay, and then sending him the picture. He loved that. And he did a great Ninjago himself.
Yes, he did.
And that's what you do this for. That's the whole point of
It
this.
is. Yeah, that's
All
weird.
right, that's why we're doing Anya's painting.
We are.
Okay, so it's about making somebody feel special. They want a certain painting, and we've got a long list of paintings, and she's going at it too. She's doing it.
We are
okay?
knocking them out.
She's down here painting. What did you paint today? Oh, I painted this. Oh, I painted this. Okay, people are asking for it, and she's painting it.
I don't know. I'm excited to just keep doing this and
Yeah, well,
enjoy people. And
Q&A tomorrow is going to be very interesting.
yeah, I really want to turn that into like a.
Maybe you could have more than one Q&A. We'll have one tomorrow. That's a preliminary one.
All right.
Then when you come back,
We'll just say we'll do a meet and greet.
right? And when we have,
so that we can meet you.
like when we come back with a vengeance, we'll be here every day. So we'll ask people about the meet and greet and about the questions. And when is a good time to put that on? We'll ask our audience, and they'll tell us then. Then they can all meet up and ask you all kinds of questions, and we can move this thing even forward, even more.
Okay. Maybe we'll just call it like a mimosas meetup, and we'll your own mimosa or kidmosa, and
Yeah, that would be
get
nice.
on Zoom and let us meet you.
Zoom would be nice.
And meet each other. It's really neat. We love when people are able to talk with one another and message each other through throughout the event, because they're in different parts of the United States or different parts of the state, and they can't be together.
I'm getting impressed with Zoom.
It's fun.
We did those people from Belgium, Brussels, Belgium.
Yes.
That was awesome. We did a paint event for a group in Brussels, Belgium, and they got on. It was 4:00 in the afternoon there. And it was 10 o'clock here in the morning.
It was.
And we did it with them, and they all got their families together, and they all painted with us, and it was fantastic.
It really was. That was great. That was great.
I mean, we've had some moments here on Mimosas and Masterpieces. Okay, two of my favorites was ice cream sundae we just did.
I thought
So I got me an ice cream. I got some ice cream, and we sat down here, and she painted an ice cream cone with the kids and people, and families, and I had my sundae, and I ate my sundae, and she had a sundae, and she couldn't finish it. I had to put it back upstairs in the freezer. Then we did the Moonlight Kitties. That was like one of my favorite nights. Did the Moonlight Kitties, and
yes,
there was a lot of people painting that night.
It was good.
Okay, and they all had great pictures. When we got that slideshow, and we looked at those pictures. It was like, oh my god!
And they're still coming in, and we love
and people
that.
are hearing about the Moonlight Kitties, and they're going to the event, and they're clicking on the video, and they're doing their own Moonlight Kitties, and they're sending it to us weeks later, so we can add it to the already made slideshow.
Yep.
I want to do some kind of slideshow, a marathon slideshow for the end of the year, just showing everybody's paintings. We got to figure out a way to do that, or we'll have multiple slideshows.
All right, how we doing?
People are still. Well, you know what? I think people are pretty much close to being done. Because all you had them do was shade this. Shade these areas where.
Areas now.
Yeah, I think you can move on.
All right,
I'll have you repeat the steps.
That's fine. You can do that. So we're gonna rinse and dry that brush. We're gonna make a light gray. So I want you to take a scoop of your white and just a little tiny bit of your black at a time. Tiny bit of black, and mix so you get a light gray. And it could even, you can do it in white too, but I'm just gonna start with a light gray.
All right.
So wherever you want your tubes of paint kind of hanging out, coming off the side, we're gonna put an oval. So it's kind of like a flattened oval.
For your tubes of paint.
So these will be our tubes of paint. So you can put as many of them as you want to. I'm gonna put, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll see if I can get 5 of them on there.
Excuse me.
And this is just in that light gray color. And we'll do another little one up here.
Well, it's good that I got you zoomed in because you can barely see that color.
I know.
But you can see it here.
Good.
Zoomed in.
And then we're just gonna, I don't want to come out too wide, but I don't want them, we don't want them straight. We want them kind of flared out just a little bit.
Okay.
So we want to make those lines on a little bit of an angle, because the tube, like a tube of paint, where's tube of paint? Tube of paint, tube of paint. So see, our tube of paint, it's not quite straight, it kind of flares out toward the bottom, right? So that's what we're going for there. And then you can fill that in. So we're doing each one of those little tubes.
And you're flaring all of them out?
Yep. Just barely.
Okay.
You can fill in that oval too. And we'll kind of put that back in with black as we do an outline in there. I think Alexa stopped playing music for me. Play meditation music? Or not? Okay, fine.
Alexa, play meditation music.
Sorry, Amazon Music stopped playing earlier because there hasn't been any activity on the device for several hours.
No, there has. Yes, there has.
Station, meditation on Amazon Music.
Lies.
So how do you trust this thing if it lies?
You don't. So we're just starting with
So
filling
now you
in.
did your 5 tubes.
Yep. I did 5 tubes. So it'll be one for every color that I have here. Over there I
Okay.
only have 4. So I did 5 here. So we'll let you guys kind of get caught up with those. And then we'll go on to the next step.
All right. And I still got it zoomed in
Zoomed a bit?
so they
Good.
can see it.
Okay.
We've only can see like sort of like almost half of you.
Oh, okay. So we did, what else did we got to Infinite Blessings Angel.
Yes, that was the last one I did. That's Father's Day.
Yep.
Okay. After the Father's Day weekend is over, then we return to you guys on the 25th of June. That's a Thursday night. That's the date night, Sun and the Moon.
Yep.
That'll be at 8 p.m.
It's half the sun, half the moon.
Half the sun, half the moon.
And if you don't have a partner or a friend to do it with, it's okay. You can do the whole painting yourself. You'll just do it on a 16 by 20 canvas.
Right.
And you'll do half of the sun and half of the moon.
Now, what we have done in the past is that we would hold this event at a location, and it would be date night.
Yeah.
And we would have couples all come in, and then we would all gather together as couples, and we would paint this painting. Okay, so now, that's Thursday, June 25th at 8 p.m. is the date night Sun and the Moon painting.
Mm-hmm.
Then we start the Friday weekend, the 26th is High in the Sky, 7 p.m. High in the Sky is the balloon. A lot of people like that painting.
Yeah, it's still getting shared.
Yeah, it's still getting
So
shared,
excited
and a
for
lot of
this
people
one.
are excited for that one. That's June 26th at 7 p.m. And then for the weekend, that Saturday hasn't been finalized for whatever
That
we might
Saturday?
be doing that
Nope,
Saturday.
I did. So I put it on for early in the morning. So I have
So we're gonna have an early in the morning
11.
session?
I think I did 11 a.m. So we can do like brunch, have some tea, have some coffee.
Really? Are we gonna
Well,
have tea and coffee?
Yeah.
All right, and we can
Yeah.
have brunch too.
Drink, sip, repeat.
Awesome.
Yep. And yep.
All right,
yep.
so that's Saturday
Yep. This is
in
Saturday.
the early morning, at like 11 a.m.
Yep. 11
We're gonna
a.m.
do drink, sip, repeat.
Drink, sip, repeat.
All right, I'm gonna have me something to drink, something to sip, and something to repeat. All right.
How about that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna do on that Saturday. That's the 27th of June. Now Sunday, 28th of June. Oh, you gave us a double header day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, so at 3 p.m. is In This House.
That is this painting.
Yeah, you love that, huh?
I do.
All right. The In This House painting is going to be at 3 p.m. Sunday, June 28th. And then in the evening at 7 p.m., we're doing the Booze Fairy. Now, for those who are doing family-oriented painting and have kids and don't want to do the Booze Fairy,
Your fairies will have magic wands.
fairies will have magic wands and not bottle of booze.
Yes.
But originally, this is the Booze Fairy.
I got
There's something
booze
going on.
today.
Yeah, it's something going on in Somerset County. I don't know where if it's
It's
happening.
everywhere.
Other places.
It's all
everywhere.
over. Every state has like.
Booze fairies?
Yeah, it's so neat.
I was made a booze fairy today, everyone.
Mark was my fairy to fairy people.
Anya says my gray is see-through. What should I do?
If your gray see-through, maybe try and add a little bit more white, and then it might. I mean, mine was a little bit too, so you can always let it dry and then go over it. And we're gonna add some kind of shadows, like highlights and shadow in it.
Okay.
So don't worry too much if it's that see-through.
All right. Yeah, but you made me a booze fairy. That's right.
We just dropped off goodies to some local families.
I dropped off goodies at different locations. without incident, and it was
Without
awesome.
Incident.
Yes.
Good.
So I became official booze fairy. And then when I came back home, and as I stepped up onto the porch to come into the house, somebody had booze fairied her. So this is a new thing that's going on.
Yes.
Interesting. Very interesting.
All right.
Right, that ends the month of June.
Good.
The booze fairy.
Yes, and the only thing, there's two things the first thing for July is the hippopotamus for Christmas.
That's July 2nd at 7 p.m.
July 2nd. Hippopotamus for Christmas.
Right.
Ta-da.
So we got to get that song.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to play it when we do it.
Yeah, of course we'll probably be kicked off.
Well, we'll play it one time. We'll play it in the beginning, all right? We'll
Yeah, there you go.
We'll play it to open the show.
Before
and then
we start painting.
Turn it off. Yeah, turn it off.
Sounds good. All right, so while we're working on your tubes, I'm just going to do almost like the
The
my
nozzle?
gosh. Yeah, where the paint would come out. So I'm just kind of putting a little bit of a line in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could be just about your brush width, because we'll be covering that, or that's where the paint will come from.
Okay.
That streak of paint that we're going to put out. It's almost like how you would do like the top of a candle, like a little candle flame.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Just a little there. And then let's get some of our, let's do kind of our,
What?
I'm trying to think of what to do next. Our brushes. Let's do our brushes first. Okay, brushes. So, your brushes, you can make either the brown, you can make them gray, you can make them whatever color you want. I started with brown, and then for the metal area, I did this in that gray color.
Mm-hmm.
Anya, you have like that bronze or copper color.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a great color to use for this. So I'm going to start with we're going to do 3 diagonal lines
Okay.
from our palette. I'm going to go with, I'm going to mix maybe a little bit of a darker brown.
So these lines need to be perfect?
Well,
Or you can use your paintbrush to do it?
you can use the pencil first if you want to, and you have a straight edge. That would be great.
Or just use a paintbrush?
Yeah, I mean, or you can just go right to the paintbrush. I mean, either way. Or use a paintbrush as your straight line. Is that what you're
that's
saying?
what I'm saying, yeah.
Sorry. Yes, you can do that too.
Okay.
So we want to come a couple of inches out from the hole of our palette. Now you can fill this in first.
Fill it
if you
in?
want to. I'm going to probably go back over that with black though. I should have done that first. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, okay, so 3 diagonal lines out for our brushes. I'm going to try and make them almost as straight as possible.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
Doesn't have to be perfect. Adrian always says, present, not perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once we start with just 3 vertical lines or 3 diagonal lines, then we can go back to kind of making them the right width and making them the right shape. Oh, that one got too wide there, but that's all right. So this will be my wide brush. All right.
Okay.
So you want them to be a little bit wider up by the brush handle up here
Mm-hmm.
and thinner down here.
Okay.
So the idea is to have a little bit more pressure up here
A little more pressure.
and then slowly
Draw your,
pressure up as you come down.
and that makes it thinner.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. And you may have to go over it once or twice to
Fill
kind
it
of
in.
get that. Yeah. And you can make them different widths. So I'm gonna almost leave this one the way it is. It's pretty close.
Okay.
And then this one will make a little bit thicker. So heavy pressure up here, and then I'm going to start letting up on pressure as I come down to the bottom of my brush.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of have to straighten that out a bit. Okay, this is just the handle part.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to extend each of these just a little bit with that gray color for silver. Or if you do have a metallic color and you want to use it, you can do that.
Right, such as Anya's bronze.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm going to make almost that gray that we made here. I'm just going to add a little bit more black to that to make it a little bit darker.
All right.
So it's like a gray, silver color. And then I'm going to try, so I'm using that pencil grip. I hold my brush like a
grip
pencil.
Holding the brush.
Pencil grip, almost I'm holding the brush on the metal area of the brush, using my pinky to kind of rest on the canvas so I have some control over my painting, and kind of give a little bit, maybe an inch on each of those areas, and I'm just trying to round that out a bit, almost like it's a long or wide rectangle. So this is a nice thin brush. I want a nice thin line here.
And you're practicing pinky stabilization
I
on your
call
canvas.
it pencil grip, pinky stabilize.
That's right. Pencil grip, pinky
stabilize.
stabilizer.
It sounds like a Star Trek thing or something.
Your pencil grip, pinky stabilizer, please.
Oh my.
Pinky stabilization.
Pinky pinkles.
Pinkles.
Oh my. We're tired, guys. Oh my goodness.
Pinky stabilization.
We're making crazy sounds now. With that dark gray that I just used there, I want to put some shadows underneath all of our tubes. So on the bottom of each of our tubes, I'm gonna bring, I know my hand's in the way.
No, that's okay. You just take it away when you're done and we'll see.
So I'm gonna brush that gray underneath.
Okay.
And then you can sort of pull that up and around each of the tubes.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm just pulling that up and around each of the tubes. So
cool, I see that. They see that.
So
that's
I'm brushing
nice.
that gray down first, and then I'm brushing it up, just pulling that gray up and toward the middle of our tube.
Right. Do that again. Let them see that again.
Yep. So take that gray color, and I'm wiping along the bottom of the tube or the side of the tube, and then pulling up toward the center of each tube. Same thing down here. Pulling up and toward the center of each tube. Oh, out of paint there.
Nice.
Now this one's a little bit tricky since it's kind of the bottom, so
right.
I may just do some from either side, kind of come halfway up on either side.
Okay.
And then pull toward the center.
Okay, that's okay.
Alright. And then we do want to sort of, well, we can do that with the, we'll do that with the, I was going to say I want to define that oval shape, but we can do that when we outline, so.
Okay.
Alright, so we'll get your grays on your brushes, gray shadows on your tubes, and then you guys let me know when we're ready to move on to the next step.
Alright, so we have 3 brushes. They have to make the brushes. They've got to put the gray areas on the brushes, and then they put the shadowing on their tubes. Once all of those steps are taken, then we'll continue on.
Then just give us a thumbs up, heart, I like.
All right.
And okay. What are you guys excited to do? I know it's about time we're all ready to be doing something, going out. What's your first place gonna be? What's your first place gonna be?
Well, where can you go?
The beach?
Yes, the beach is open.
I hope that the
I don't
beach,
think there's still a lot of businesses that are not open yet.
I'm hoping that the beach when we go is like it was when we were there when we visited last year.
Oh.
Well, was like nobody there. There was like nobody there.
That's because we went at the end of the vacation season.
I know.
I don't know about now, but see now everything is just getting back to normal.
I know.
We're just getting back to opening up. So I think that y'all are going to be lucky. Y'all going to go down there. It's this weekend, so y'all going to go down there this weekend and there's nobody going to be there.
That's kind of our hope. I don't like crowds anyway. I don't like lots of
Well,
people.
look, it could be opposite too because
People are
everybody's
just
locked up.
Locked to the beat.
Right, and people are ready to come out. So it depends on where it is when y'all go. Where y'all going, it depends on where they closed down. Where they, I don't think
they've
they
been
were.
closed. No, they've been closed. That's why she messaged us. But we rented an Airbnb, so the cottage owner messaged us and said everything is pretty much still closed. I mean, they have opened the island for visitors,
Right.
but restaurants are still only doing takeout. There's, I guess the beach is open, but as far as I know, it was pretty much only locals.
But I see
that were
Rachel from New Zealand is saying we're allowed anywhere in New Zealand. We have 0 cases now.
Wow.
And see, we're the same way up here in New York. We have 0 cases that have new cases.
There's been no new cases?
No new cases. Nobody's been admitted into the hospital. That's been a long time since that's happened.
I know, it kind of died off.
However,
from what
other places that haven't peaked,
right,
or that they just didn't take seriously, and they're still having no social distancing and stuff,
okay,
are starting to peak now. Places in Texas, places in Florida are starting to peak.
Rachel, was New Zealand, like, have you seen the news for us here? Like, was New Zealand like here? Like, everything was, I mean, I don't know how many thousands of cases it seemed like a day we were getting.
Right.
Jersey, New York, but I mean, like, I don't know what New Zealand's like. I'm sorry. But like New York, everybody's on top of each other. You have like 1,000 people that live in a building together. Like, how do you contain? I mean, you're on top of each other, so it's got to spread so quickly. You would think. I don't know.
Yeah, but after all of these weeks, it's slowing down
now.
here in our area, in the tri-state
Yeah.
area. However, we got hit hard because we have so many different people coming from so many different places.
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
That's true.
and all the other states don't have the kind of activity that we have. So really, they were just getting started. So like in Minneapolis, like in Michigan, okay, and then people are saying, we don't. This is fake. They don't know what it is, and all of that kind of stuff. They haven't even begun.
Yeah, I get it. Well.
See, yes, he said we shut down on March 25th. I think it was.
Yeah, we were pretty close to that though, because I was home since then. I've been home since then.
Yeah, it was like the end of February. It was just the end of February, the beginning of March is when we. Matter of fact, it was the day after my father's funeral.
It was the day after your dad's
That's
funeral.
when we were all locked in the house after that.
And it was the end of February because that was the day we were supposed to go and do the Maggiano's painting that they canceled after we packed the car.
That's right.
Yep. Okay.
After we packed the car up, they said, "Nope, sorry, we can't do it."
Yeah, and we were supposed to do the sea turtle, so now we're doing it virtual.
That's right. That's right. I think people are ready to finish.
All right, let's do our brushes. So for our brushes, we're going to do a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white. We kind of want that light yellow color. You can even add just a touch of brown if you want to. We want like light bristle colors.
Okay.
So I'm going to make 3 different brush sizes. So the biggest one will make let's make our flat brush. So kind of, that's really yellow.
That's too yellow?
I don't know, just looks like the sun. Hello, sun. I don't know. I'm making it a slight more brown. Oh, here comes Aiden. Mom, are you done yet? Alright, so flat brush. So the flat brush, we just want a slight angle on those lines.
Okay.
And then straight across, and then we're just filling in. Hi, Aiden. What's up, bud? Okay. I'm rinsing and drying just to get my brush back to a fine point because there was lots of paint on my brush. So rinse and dry, get it back to a point. So we have the flat brush. We have that detail brush, this brush that we're using.
Right.
So look at those bristles. It's almost like a teardrop or like a candle. So it's kind of to a point and a little teardrop shape down there.
Okay.
And then the last one, we'll make a fan brush, even though we've never used the fan brush with you guys.
Right.
And that is bigger angles on those lines. And then this is a curved line here.
On the top.
Around the top, yep. And then we are just filling that in.
Wow, you're all solid.
No, we got several details to go, but we're getting there. So we did our brushes. We're gonna get to highlights and outlining. Next, I think we can do our colors.
Okay.
Okay, so we can go right to blue and start with our blue. So you were gonna rinse and dry after we get those bristles on those brushes.
Using the same brush?
I'm using that same brush still. So let's do our first color. I kind of loaded my brush up for this. We're just kind of spreading it around on in that little area. So
Okay.
it doesn't really matter if you go out of the lines here.
Okay.
But there's your
There's your
first
blue.
pot of blue. And while you have that, again, I'm putting a lot of paint on my brush.
Yeah.
And I want to start at the tip of our tube.
Yes.
With pressure, I want to press down and kind of pull away.
Press down and pull away.
So I'm pressing down and kind of swiggling or swirling my brush a little and pulling away.
Okay.
And then you can rinse and dry.
That might take some practice.
Oh, we got 4 more to do it on.
Okay. So it doesn't necessarily have to look like that.
No.
But it's all in how you
It's
press
almost like
down
you're,
and pull away.
You squeeze out the paint and it kind of comes out like a little
Exactly.
snake shape.
Yes.
Talking about snakes again.
But how you making it, you press down on it,
Yep,
and then you pulled away.
I want to get all that paint off of my brush so there's texture to that. It looks like
Somebody squeezed the paint.
on your canvas.
Okay, so that's why you took a lot of paint.
Yep. We're going to do the same with yellow. So you'll rinse and dry. Let's do the same with yellow.
All right, you're going to paint in one of the areas.
Paint one of these guys down here.
Then you're going to put extra paint on there, and then you're going to put pressure on the tube, the entrance of the tube, and pick it up so that it looks like a...
Yep, so I'm going to load up that brush with yellow.
Load it up with yellow, and you're going to put pressure on that.
And then right at the beginning of our tube, and then we'll just kind of swirl it
Scribble
away.
out.
And I almost spun my brush as I came out to get all that paint off of there.
Ah.
And you'll have texture on there. It'll take a while to dry, but it'll be raised. So yes, you can tell people, yes, it's a real painting.
Okay. Yeah, see, Rachel says, New Zealand has 5 million people. We had 1,500-ish cases, 22 deaths, and no new cases for over 2 weeks now.
Oh, that's
no
great.
active cases. Opened up everything yesterday.
That's so great to hear.
And we opened up today.
Good to hear. We're getting there.
We'll see.
Man. I know. That's scary. Alright, let's do red. We'll do the same thing with red.
Okay.
Alright, we'll put some red on here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect since it's, we're just kind of covering that white space.
And you put a lot of paint on there to give it like a 3D effect.
Yeah, a little. I mean, we're going to probably wipe some of it off when we go to put a white highlight on there, but that's alright. Same thing, we're going to grab that red. We'll come down and sort of squiggle that line of paint. I'm kind of twisting my brush as I pull it away from the tube. And then the other 2 colors we're doing the same thing, green and purple. So you'll mix a green color that you like, a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow. So you're happy with that color.
Okay.
Let's do green. Rinse and dry. Make sure you rinse and dry in between all your colors, of course. Don't worry, they're all gonna look different, so don't worry about matching colors to mine. What's up, honey?
Should we some work, okay?
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not doing another live video after this. No more.
Wants to do a live video after this one.
Or a little later today.
A little later, it's gonna be like,
8:30.
yeah. It's like, it's bedtime, man.
You want to do a late night?
Late
A
night.
late night live?
Late night Dyson cleaning.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Aiden's Late Night Vacuum
The midnight vacuum cleaning session.
Cleaner Party. Starring Roomba,
Oh,
Bissell,
oh my
I don't
goodness.
even have a Bissell back.
Dyson,
I have Dysons. Yes.
Shark.
2 of them.
Shark.
2 Dysons and 2 Sharks now.
Alright, last
Aiden's
color.
Late Night Vacuum Party. With
You
an
don't have
appearance
purple
from
on
Swiffer Jet.
On that one, I know, because I couldn't fit another one when I was
So
doing
you
it.
did purple and green.
Yep. So I got them all on there now.
Cool.
And when you guys somebody give us an okay when we're at this point, and then we will go to highlights, outlines, and then we're done.
Okay. Highlights and outlines.
Highlights and outlines, and then we're done. Yes. What,
Well,
honey?
each person is going to have to take each color and put it in little areas on their
Uh-huh.
palettes.
Yeah.
And then they're going to do the squiggly
Lines from their.
lines
From their
for
paint
each one of
tubes.
their tubes.
Yep.
And then you're going to come back and you're going to outline all of this.
We will come back and outline, and we want to add some highlights in our brushes on the handles.
Okay.
Outline around the tubes. Highlights on our paints.
Pretty good.
So we still have a few more steps, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I know. Are you sleepy too? Everybody's yawning. No, I'm not. No, I'm not tired.
I'm tired from last week.
What happened last week, honey?
We had a lot of painting
I
shows.
already did a live yesterday.
Yeah, you did a
We
live
did a
yesterday.
lot of painting. Well, you did a lot of painting. I didn't paint anything. I just was
Well,
covering everything else.
tomorrow will be nice
break.
and easy and chill and.
You have
And
a
then
live tomorrow?
Thursday.
Yeah, we'll go live tomorrow. We're gonna kind of do a meet and greet, so you can come in with me. You can help me mix
What time, though?
mix resins.
It's
It'll
going to be late at night.
Yeah, it's true. It'll be 8 o'clock, but that's okay. You can.
Can we do mine tomorrow?
No,
Why?
no more.
Didn't you just do one?
Yeah, you just did one yesterday. What's the next one gonna be about?
The demonstrating more vacuums.
What ones didn't you demonstrate?
That one, my other Dyson,
What
and
one?
my Panasonic and the new.
The 2
Shark.
Dysons?
That one and
What's
the
that
one
one?
upstairs.
That's the Dyson?
Yeah.
That
I
Dyson.
fixed it. It's
That's the
mine
one
now.
that Nicole brought you?
Somebody brought it to me.
That was all beat up and dirty and.
and it was
falling
missing
apart?
a filter cover,
Okay. I'll tell her that you fixed it
and I'm using it
and
now
you're using it.
for the basement.
I'll
Works
tell her
really
you bought
good.
the parts and you fixed it.
Mm-hmm. He did.
And it's in good condition now. Except the canister.
It's a
because
little
that's
beat
like
up.
Scruffed.
Scruffed.
But I don't really care. All I care is if I can see through it.
Well, as long as it holds the dirt, right?
Yep. Fine.
That's it.
Seems fine to me.
Seems
Works
fine to
fine.
me.
Vacuum mommy's card today as well.
Yes, you back in Mom's card. Thank you.
Yeah. The vacuum got clogged a couple times on the tool though.
On what?
The hair.
The
Dog hair.
I was gonna say it's not
Dog.
like
Because when
trying
I'm
to say.
vacuuming the mats,
my hair's clogging up the vacuum.
it's pulling it up.
but it gets stuck to those felt things.
Oh my.
I'll have to show them what that is next time we do.
Next time.
Mine. I'm probably going
Next
to
time.
end up doing it tomorrow. Okay.
Next time. How you doing, Anya? Rachel.
I think Anya's just about ready.
Who we messing? We have Anya, Rachel.
Yeah. Anya, Rachel, Tara, Patricia,
Patricia,
Becky.
and Becky. How you ladies
I
doing?
want to stay up late tonight.
Okay, you stay up late. Stay up
You're gonna stay up late tonight?
You gonna stay up late?
Gonna clean up down here?
I gotta vacuum every time.
How about
Thank
if
you so much.
How about if you wheel over the glitters and the resin stuff for me, and set up a table with all my resin stuff for tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. And I'll move.
And get
You
up
know,
all
I'm
the
gonna
dog
get a-
hairs?
I'm gonna
Here.
probably bring an air purifier and do a thorough good job vacuuming
A
them.
thorough good job.
It's probably gonna take me like I would say about 40.
We will need the air purifier downstairs tomorrow.
Yes.
I think we can continue on.
Think so?
Yep.
Okay.
Anybody raises any
I'm just
Okay.
gonna watch because I know
Okay. So I'm gonna stick with that.
No, Anya says give us a minute. She's
Give us
not
a minute.
done.
Okay. All
I
right.
just said that to see if anybody was gonna react. Wait.
No, not yet.
Alright. We can take a few more minutes.
Aiden, will you take my stuff over and set it out for me? I have to figure out, we have to pick out color schemes.
I can do it for you in a second.
Okay.
And then of course you make a mess with glitter because your saying is there's never too much glitter.
Well,
And I have
there's
a
never
vacuum
too much
seal.
glitter when it comes
That's
to
what vacuums are for.
pouring resin.
Just watch out for Rascal.
Yeah, he's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
He's
He's not
cute.
gonna do anything.
Look, that whole thing fits in there.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Putting it back together. Well, I'll have to move this table, take it down, so I can vacuum under there. Because I have not vacuumed under there.
You can put up 2 plastic table covers. One
Yeah,
for
they're gonna have to. I may have to come in the camera to get that.
Well, that's okay.
Go ahead, you can go in the camera.
I just say hi.
You don't want to
Yeah.
see? You don't want to be seen?
I'm gonna wave in and say hi.
Yeah, come on and say hi.
Hi. I'm the vacuum boy.
On the vacuum boy. Beep beep, rascal.
Rascal move.
Who's
Okay, he didn't even
Beep
eat
beep
yet.
beep. We didn't need an eat. Beep beep.
Beep beep.
Sorry, buddy.
Back that butt up.
And you know, everybody, he really is the vacuum boy.
Because I vacuum every single live, every single time after the live.
And he has a page, Vacuum Boy. Please visit him.
Yep.
So I think we'll set those up on one table, like the tall table.
Yeah.
Set
That
up the
one?
supplies on the tall table.
I'm going to take down this table.
Okay,
so,
fine.
So I can
Be
vacuum
careful.
when we're done.
I just have to have a level surface to pour the
The
so
resin.
what, you want me to put the glitter and stuff up there? Why, you're going to do a live this way?
Yeah, I'll turn the live and go that way this
And I
time.
may have to move the
Okay.
vacuum like over
You
there.
can move the vacuums, that would be great.
Or you can just get it in with it. It doesn't seem to really matter. So you want me to put all that glitter on top of that table?
Sure.
Alright, I can do that. And one's already opened, was
Yes.
spilled in the bottom of the cart.
I know, I realize that.
I'll suck that out with the vacuum later.
Yeah, all the mica powders I have to pick out. Why don't you pick a color scheme for one of them?
No, I'm just gonna put
Nah.
the
Alright.
supplies on the table.
No.
All
Oh my
right.
goodness.
So,
We
the
good?
micro powder's one side. Ow. It fell right on my foot. I didn't think it would.
Alright, so what we'll do next is, again, I'm rinsing and drying that that round brush that we've been using.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to add some highlights to our paint. Okay, so after each one, so you're going to take a good amount of white paint on that brush, and we just want to wipe some of that white paint in each of the colors. Now I got green on there, so I'm going to rinse and dry.
Oh, okay.
Get another bit of white on there. Wipe some white in there.
I'm allergic to
Rinse and dry.
You got some blue on it?
Right. So you're
So
gonna
now
rinse
you
and dry
rinse.
since we made that pretty thick.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why this one's open.
So I'm rinsing and drying after each color that I get that white in, so we don't drag our colors from one to the other here.
Okay.
Low power.
Yep.
Yep. Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Let me go get that orange extension cord for you.
Yes, please. Oh, guess what? My
Oh,
the other part of it is upstairs, so I'm gonna need. I didn't bring that down. I wasn't expecting this one to be that long. Sorry.
Okey-dokey.
oh, that's my fault.
It's okay.
Sorry.
No big deal. You're fine. Okay.
I didn't mean to do that.
Thank you. That's okay. All right. After the whites here,
Yeah.
you want to add some highlights to each of your tubes this way. So we did the gray from the bottom. We'll do the white from the top.
I don't have the piece.
We
Yeah.
need the piece
I'm
upstairs.
going to get that.
Thanks,
Okay.
bud. Okay. So again, we did the gray on the bottom. So this time we're gonna do the white along the top and pull that white down into toward the center.
Okay. Let me close up on that.
These tubes are nicer than the ones that I did earlier.
Just use this for now. Will this work?
As long as you can plug it in, doesn't matter.
Doesn't work.
I don't think it
it's gonna
matters.
work Probably.
Okey-dokey.
I use that all the time for my doorbells. I don't know what these crystals are, so I'll.
We'll see.
Okay. And on this bottom one that's coming up from the bottom, I'm just doing it around the top half
Look how it'll go.
of each side.
All right. You'll have to speak louder.
Oh, that's right. Okay, Aiden, I'm gonna need you to just be quiet on that side, okay?
Yes, I'll try and
All
do
right, thank you. All right,
Alright.
after I get the white on our tubes and the white in the paint,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna switch brushes to that finer, that smaller brush. So we're going to a tinier brush. So we're going to a tinier brush for our outlining and details,
Okay.
right? So I do wanna start with, let's go to, you can just outline your palette, let's start with that. So pencil grip, pinky, put it on your pinky, stabilize your hand.
All right.
You do a little bit of brush strokes at a time. You have more control over that brush. And we're just going along the outside edge with the black. So I'm just outlining in black.
Stabilization with the pinky.
Stabilize with the pinky. You're gonna want to rinse and dry that brush. Whoops.
Wow, you have so many
Often,
colors.
so that you don't get so much buildup and your lines start getting thick.
Right.
Rinse
So
and
keep
dry.
rinsing and drying,
Get the paint off,
and then keep making your outline.
right back in. Yep.
Some of it spilled on the floor. Okay.
You want to go back in this area and fill in this little oval or this circle in here. You can
Mhm.
fill that in now.
Okay.
Kind of is that before. So fill that guy in, and then just keep outlining. Now when you get to your brushes, you're going to want to make sure you skip the area where your brushes are
Okay.
so that you can outline your brushes if you want to outline your brushes.
All right.
So dry, back to point.
Is it? What is this? Doesn't look like it goes, so that goes there. Little tiny dots of the color.
rinsing and drying to get it to a fine point.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps those thin lines. Goodness me.
Blocking myself off for what reason? The glitter everywhere.
Kind of rounding off these little areas of that gray for where it holds our bristles to our brush.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Be right back.
Careful, but rinse, dry, push that back to a point. Just keep on going. I'm gonna outline my brushes up here, my bristles.
Mm-hmm.
You can add a couple little lines in there for your
For your bristles.
bristles too, just for some detail. You need a light pressure for those little bristle lines up there.
All right.
Okay, getting there, guys. You're gonna outline your tubes. When you outline your tubes, make sure you kind of get that oval back in there that we started, that side of the oval.
Right.
Come around this side, I want you to skip over that little area where the tube is coming out, or where the opening is of the tube.
Right.
And we'll just put two little lines in there to kind of outline that where the tube edges.
Okay. I got it nice and zoomed in so they can see that part.
Oh, good. I mean, if you want to get real detailed, you can even add like little diagonal lines for like the twist top.
Mm-hmm.
Those ovals and outlining. Diagonal line in there. And outline top and bottom of each.
For each one of your colors.
Yep, each one of those tubes. Just remember, rinse and dry that brush off in, clean it off so you get nice thin lines. I know Anya's gonna add some extra little details, like probably the paint name or the colors on her tubes. I'm expecting something, girl. I'm expecting something extra. Remember, we want you to send in your photos to us. So once you're done with your painting this evening, take a picture of your painting, take a picture of you with your painting. That would be even better.
Yes. And send it where?
Make sure I'll post a reminder at the end of the slideshow. The end of the slideshow. I'm tired.
Under the live.
At the end of the live, we'll post the live to the discussion, and then I will post a thank you and a reminder to put your photos below, and you can post it right to that post. Last thing we'll need to do on our painting, well, we have two things. So if you want to add a little bit of highlights once you rinse and dry from black, grab a little bit of white, and you can go right along the top of each of those brushes. Kind of bring that white down with that nice thin brush, light pressure, down the gray, down the handle of your brush. And you can add some little white lines up there too in your brush bristles if you want. And the very last thing you need is your signature somewhere. Now if you want to write your name up here, or Anya's Art Studio, Anya's Art Gallery,
Yes.
whoever's name, or whatever you want to put on there. This is an awesome gift for your art teacher. So Miss So-and-so's art room, that would be cool.
Very good suggestion.
But the very last thing is your initials and dates. I'm usually the bottom right or bottom left. So initials and the year on all of my paintings.
And then take a picture
And then take a picture
and send it to us.
and send it to us. And then we are done. Ta-da!
Just under 2 hours.
That was a long one. That was longer than I expected it to be.
That's okay.
But yeah. I don't know, Anya. This is one of the very few that I really like this one, I think, just as much as the other one. Sometimes when I'm looking at the canvas from this angle, it comes out so distorted. Like, looks great from,
When you're
image
facing
that I'm
it.
looking at.
Yes.
But it looks good. I'm proud of it. I hope you guys like your masterpieces. And we can't wait to see them.
Yes, that's the big thrill for us here
Yeah.
at Mimosas and Masterpieces, is when we get your pictures of what you did. And it never disappoints. It's always been so good. And very proud of everyone that comes and joins us and shows that they really got skill and they got talent.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We love seeing your photos. We love seeing your shares. We really appreciate when you post your photo to your page. Tag just at Mimosas Masterpieces or Mimosas and Masterpieces. It links people to our page and they can see what we do. They can see what you've done because all of your photos are in all of our slideshows. We appreciate those things.
And they really come out nice. I mean, I've been totally impressed. I have yet to see a painting where I said, no, that doesn't look good at all. I have not seen anything like that.
I mean, we have some like toddlers that paint with us every once in a while, and we know.
Right, but when you look at a toddler's painting, the toddler's painting still looks good for a toddler.
That's
You're saying,
true.
wait a minute.
You still know what it is.
Okay, but all the adults, all the young people, they're really concentrating. Like when we watched the kids yesterday on the Zoom,
Yeah.
they were so serious.
They were so cute.
And then at the end, when it was all over and they're all showing us their paintings, they were all beaming because they took it seriously. They enjoyed it. They concentrated on what you were saying and what they were doing. And it all came out real nice.
So we do also offer private Zoom parties. So if you want to do something private with just your girlfriends or your family, we do that as well, but we do it through Zoom so that we can see you, you can see each other, we can kind of guide you if we need to. And then, we can take some, a couple of shots and we'll do, again, we also will send you your personal slideshow for the event.
Mm-hmm. So going forward, we're still going to be here on Mimosas and Masterpieces Facebook page. We're still going to do virtual painting that is free. But we are going to be going back to the road trips.
Yeah, see you
And yeah, so we're going to be going back to the road trips. We just got to get some bookings down, and eventually that's what's going to happen. But we're going to continue on doing the virtual painting, and we're seeing what we can evolve this business into. I personally would like to see her on a TV cable program, doing a painting every week, or just get the TV money and just get a successful TV show going on that we're trying to develop. Because there will be a lot more things, but we'll get all of that information from you guys, the audience. What would you like to see?
We are just as happy doing this virtually as we are going out. Of course, I would love to make a road trip, plane trip all the way to New Zealand.
Well, I mean, the way my creative imagination works is that in the future you'll be doing road trips, but you'll be going all over. You'll be going all over the country, okay? Because we'll have a cable TV show that people will want to paint with you, and they want to meet you, and you'll be going all over, and then we'll have painting sessions all over.
We will.
Maybe then we can make it to New Zealand. Then maybe we can get up to Ontario, Canada.
Canada's not that far. We can definitely.
If we get the TV money, we'll have a whole crew. If we get the TV money, we'll get a whole crew that can drive us up there and set up for us instead of us doing all the setup and everything. And you just come on out as the star, and I'll be behind the scenes,
Oh well.
making sure it's getting edited right, filmed right, and everything.
Pretty much.
And Anya says, "Thank you so much once again.
You're
Love you
welcome,
guys."
sweetie. I'm so happy that we did this with you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for staying with it and keep asking every week, because I got her to finally come through and say, "Yeah, all right.
What's next?
We did this for you, Anya, and I'm
What's
very
next?
proud that we came through with this for you."
Yeah.
Was it a private event?
No.
Anya just kept
It was just her
asking us
suggestion to paint this
for
painting.
a paint palette. So Mom Anya was like, I don't know. Remember I spilled my water. Remember I had the paint palette up on the wall?
Right.
And I was like, I didn't really like it. But this one, they suggested doing like the gradient background with the rainbow background. And yep, that was it. It's okay, it's just water. It's okay.
Well, we want to thank everybody for coming and joining us tonight and painting with Anya and Jennifer. Want to thank Becky from Maine. Want to thank Patricia from Kingston, Ontario. Want to thank Tara from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Yes.
Rachel, definitely from New Zealand. All right, and everybody else that came to join us.
That's right.
We'll be off until the 17th of June, where we'll be doing Olive's Elephant. But tomorrow there is a Q&A and a little demonstration.
Mini meetings.
And that's going to be on the Mimosas and Masterpieces page.
Yeah.
You don't have to click on the events to see her tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just going to go live right from the page tomorrow. This way, anybody that may not have seen the event can just pop on if they want to pop on.
And we'll probably get another event like that in the future, in the near future, another Q&A.
I want to do a meet and greet, but because I want to meet all of you. Because I've loved getting your stories of, that you haven't painted since
Oh, wow.
school.
Okay, so now Anya says, my artwork is on display at my school social platform and chosen as a student spotlight. That is awesome.
It should be. We've seen it all.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes. And we encourage others, all the rest of you out there, as these paintings start piling up, start thinking about what would you like to do with your paintings.
What can we do with them?
Who would you like to see? Who would you like to see them? Where could you show them to people? I mean, yeah, you could do them around your house, but what do you do when you get so many more paintings and you're like, okay, I can't hang them up all.
Yeah, we don't know.
We're getting pictures from people where they're showing us their wall.
Yeah.
Okay, the wall has every painting that they've painted so far
I know
that
Rachel's
Jennifer
done
has.
a lot of them because I've seen some of hers.
Right. So, I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah. So, yes, your ideas are encouraged. Suggestions are welcome.
You can get your artwork on display. Please let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to see it.
Get pictures. Show us.
Yeah.
We're interested. We want to motivate you. We want to inspire you. We want to share with you. We want to praise you, and we want to be proud of you. We're building a community here. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be here. We're going to see what we can do with this thing, and how far we can take this thing. And you could all join us and come along with us.
Wherever we may go. If you're
We're
local,
going somewhere.
If you're local or you want to make a road trip for the sloth party, I think we, you know, gosh, I don't even know if we're going to have restrictions on that or what we can have.
Don't worry, we're gonna film it, and if you can't make it, then you'll be able to come here to Mimosas and Masterpieces and see what we.
In our basement, maybe.
No, are you kidding? My gosh, no. But maybe, yeah, we will just do a live feed of the
I've been wanting.
in-person event.
Look,
That'd
my
be
whole
great.
thing is I want the sloth to paint. That's what I want.
I'll message them and ask them if this is
Yes,
what
because
they
we
paint
know the sloth paints. So if we can get the sloth to come here and paint, and we'll paint him painting, that would be totally
Oh my
awesome.
goodness.
Yeah, so thank you
All right.
everybody for coming and
Great.
joining us tonight.
Thank you guys all always. Anya, thank you so much, sweetie. I'm very proud of everything that you've done. You great work. So
Yeah, you're
keep it up.
remarkable.
Thank you for sharing with us.
And we'll be back with a vengeance come Wednesday,
back.
June 17th.
And we'll see, or you'll see us tomorrow if you decide to tune in and kind of just check out what I'm tinkering around with tomorrow.
That's cool. Thank you
All
so much,
right.
everybody.
Everyone have a great evening, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Have a great and safe evening. Thank you.